What is going on, fellow gamers? Cheese Sticks here, bringing you another episode of Mission Movie, the new weekly series that I've started off where I review a new movie that came out recently, and also in the background play a video game where I win an objective-based game. And this week the game is Battlefield 3. So I hope you like the gameplay, and let's get into the review. This week's review, I'm doing The Amazing Spider-Man, which is the reboot of the Spider-Man series. New Spider-Man was picked up by the director Mark Webb, who, if you don't know who the director, I think his most notably was 500 Days of Summer. I think that's what I've seen. I've read up, did a little research, and was dropped by the Ramirez guy, who did all the other three Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire after he withdrew after he said unquote quote unquote hated it. And so Sony dropped him, or he didn't drop him, he withdrew, and Sony took on Mark Webb, and they just went ahead and redid the whole thing. So I'm not going to really do a description this week because I don't really think I really need to describe what Spider-Man is. I think most of you guys already know what the hell I'm going to be talking about. If you don't, what the hell you've been doing, go look it up, do some research about Spider-Man. Great superhero from the Marvel series. So yeah, I'm not going to do a description off IMDb. So, but I am going to do a little what they did differently than the other Spider-Man, and let's go from there. So, first off, did a whole new cast, different cast, dropped Tobey Maguire. Thank God. In my opinion, Tobey Maguire didn't really do a good job as Spider-Man. He's a little too like he came out at like Pleasantville. Like he didn't do a good job. Like the wide-eyed innocent, and Andrew Garfield, the guy who played Peter Parker in this new series, did a good job. He's a little too bad boyish and not like the actual Spider-Man from the comic books, but it did a good job. And they're much more in tune with the comics. I've read that they're really close and really more like based off the comic books instead of doing too many changes. But what else they did different? Let's see. They dropped Mary Jane as the love interest. They picked up Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone. Ooh, Emma Stone. I don't know. She's better as a redhead. I don't like blonde, but nonetheless, Emma Stone. Oh, #1, baby. #1. But also, no more his best friend Henry and the Green Goblin and his father, the Green Goblin. They dropped it for Dr. Kurt Connors, the Lizard, which is the villain in this series. Or not the series, the movie. Did a good job. But other than that, they did a really good job. I really like this movie. I want to do a little quick. Instead of love it, hate it, I'm going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly, in my opinion, and what they did good, did bad, and what they just fucked up. And let's get into it. So the good, I think my opinion, and a lot of everyone else's opinion, was the casting. They did a great job casting, especially Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. Really good job. Andrew Garfield played Peter Parker. You've seen him in what's it called? The Social Network, the Mark Zuckerberg's friend, Eduardo, I think that's what his name. I don't know, but he did a great job. Emma Stone, really good job. Really good love interest in this movie. I don't know if you know this, but in real life, also Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are actually currently dating. So they did a really good job casting those two. It makes it feel like, because not only are they just acting and pretending to be in love, they technically are in love, because in real life they are dating. So good job. You can see it in their eyes that they're like, oh, I want to rip your clothes off and do you on the camera right now, but they gotta hold back and act. So really good job. They're pretty good. Dennis Leary, Martin Sheen, and Sally Field also did a good job. Martin Sheen acted for Uncle Ben. That's another good that they did. Martin Sheen, or Uncle Ben, really good. Really good. He was much better. The Uncle Ben in this series instead of the first one. I almost felt like, because he was like a blue-collar kind of uncle, and always, he was just, it felt like a really nice guy, and just when he... Oh, God, it's hard to explain. It's just trying to come out of my mouth, but that's what she said. He did such a good job, and he's like a surrogate father and brings sense of humor, really good sense of humor, but also like spout off like responsibility to Peter that like he was supposed to, and he did such a good job that I really was actually quite shocked when he died. I was like, oh my god, I forgot that he's gonna pass away. And if I'm spoiling this to anyone, where the hell have you been? I'm not spoiling anything. He does die, just like in the comics, just like in the last movie, and it didn't feel right. It was just he did such a good job that you didn't want him to die, and you knew it was eventually coming. And you're like, oh damn it, and damn, and his Aunt May, I think, is his aunt. I forgot the actress's name. Is it Garfield? No, I don't remember. But the aunt was a little better. It wasn't like she kind of acted better, but she just looked like an aunt. You know, if you saw the first series of Tobey Maguire, his aunt looks like his freaking great-grandmother with the white hair, and it just looked... She just looked like a really weird, like, I don't know, really weird grandmother that I don't like visiting because it smells like cats all the fucking time, and I don't really want to go over her house because all the really smelly furniture, because it's like from the 1930s. But I don't know, I just felt a little better because the actors was just a little younger, and they did a good job with the screenwriting, little moments that you picked out, and they just did a good job overall. Cast was probably the best part about the whole movie. But let's go into the bad. Oh, another good thing also, they did a lot better with just the movement speed. Like, if you saw the first series with Tobey Maguire, it felt like, because all the action scenes weren't really much with the CGI, and this one is a little more CGI. It was kind of ping-pong-ish, like lack of like physics. It felt like it was a little too fast, but I don't know, it was faster than the original 3 series, and it just felt like Spider-Man had like the supernatural, like super strength abilities that you see that he has. And instead of like in the first 3 series, I know he had the web, the freaking web powers, but you didn't feel like he was like super strength. But in this one, they did a good job. He was the action scenes are a little much more fast-paced and make it feel like he is really self-aware and much faster and much more super strength. So they did a good job there. Another bad thing about the movie, I felt, if you're a fan of the comic books, you know the real Spider-Man and who he is. He's a weird guy. He's funny. He's super smart, and he likes to make jokes while he's fighting crime. And it's much upbeat in the comics than this movie actually brought out. It was like 2 different movies in one movie. Let me explain a little better because it sounds a little confusing. But what it is, it's like, it feels like this movie is much more darker mood. It's like it's more gritty and like trying to make it more realistic, like modern days, but it's a little too dark because the Spider-Man comics, it's just like makes stupid, corny jokes every time he does something. Like, I remember watching a cartoon with like the Spider-Man was like an urban legend or something like that, and he like finds evidence. He's like, looks like it was myth taken. I was like, oh my god, Spider-Man, you fucking suck at jokes. But in this movie, he tries to make jokes, but also like it's like a dark and gritty kind of movie, and it just doesn't feel like it fits. And it didn't work too well, but not too bad. And it's not much I can say on the bad, but there is a couple of things, or at least one thing that I can really for sure say with the ugly. And the biggest thing for me was huge plot holes, like things that just drop off the radar, and you're like, where the hell did that go? I don't want to go too much in detail, but there's a couple scenes that something happens, you're like, okay, where did he go? What happened? Like, there was a scene about this Indian guy in the movie that he threatens to like shut down Dr. Kurt Connors, his stuff, and he takes his serum, and like that whole scene on the bridge, and the lizard couldn't get to him, and like he was like gets thrown off, but he gets like saved by Spider-Man, gets thrown off the bridge, and Spider-Man saves him with the web, and he's dangling from there. And And then after that scene, he was gone. There was nothing about that. I'm like, where, what happened? Where did he go? Is it, we're gonna see him again? And another scene with Gwen Stacy where freaking knows how to make an anti-venom in the end. It's just, is this gonna affect people who weren't affected? I don't want to go big into it, but I don't know. It was just, it just dropped off the radar, and I was like, this is just, it's too much for me to take in. How did she know that? But anyways, that's the good, bad, and the ugly, and I just want to do an overall, my opinion on it. It was really good. They did a good job. Like, overall, it was good. I liked it overall. It did have like its problems, but I really liked its new direction, and it just the last series I wasn't on board with Tobey Maguire. Not my favorite actor. He's kind of a whiny bitch as Spider-Man. This one did a good job. Cast is great. I'm really excited, hopefully, to see the next one. And they did a good job. I'd definitely see it. So my rating, my previous rating, you know, full price, matinee, which is discounted, rent, or don't see it at all. I'd still go again with the full price, not only because it's okay, it's pretty good. They did a good job, but the visuals, again, it's pretty amazing, and I would definitely like to see. I saw it in the IMAX 3D, blew me away. I love seeing all those movies in there. I know IMAX, my movie screen, is like sitting like a foot away from a 51-inch screen TV and sitting in leather seats, and that's a pretty damn good way to see a movie. So I'd recommend that to anyone if you don't mind dropping like 14 bucks, which is really expensive, but it's not a big deal for me since I get it for free, bitch. But there we go. That's the Spider-Man. Really good movie. Hope you guys go see it. It's really good. And next week I will be either seeing, I'll let you guys choose, Savages, or what was it called? Ice Age, whatever, Continental Drift. I think that's what it's called. I don't remember. One of those two. Put in the comments which one you want me to see, and also choose a game that I should play objective-wise. I'm thinking either like Gears of War 3 or Splinter Cell, not Splinter Cell, Tom Clancy Future Soldier. So let me know an objective-based game that I can play and kick some ass in if I see if I have it. And I'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.